She's not thinking about the man who treated her well. She's thinking about the one she couldn't read. That's not a preference. That's a pattern, and it runs through every woman you've ever met. What you're about to hear is a breakdown of 9 psychological dynamics that operate inside every woman's mind. Not because women are broken, because this is how the psychology actually functions. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The first dynamic is contrasting personalities. The man she can't stop thinking about isn't the one who was always strong. He's the one who was strong and then suddenly wasn't. Here's why that works. Women read men constantly. It's not something they decide to do. It runs in the background of every interaction. They're assessing who you are, what you want, whether you're real. When your personality fits cleanly into one box, when every behavior confirms the same read, that assessment ends fast. She files you. Interesting, safe, predictable. But when you contradict yourself, when the calm, composed man she's been watching for 3 weeks suddenly starts dancing in the middle of the street, that assessment doesn't end. It restarts. She's asking herself, who is this person really? And a question without an answer is a thought she'll carry home. This isn't about inventing a fake side of yourself. It's about letting the full range of who you actually are exist in the same space. If you're generally composed, let the playful side surface when it's genuinely there. If you're naturally warm, let the edge show when you mean it. The contrast doesn't weaken your frame. It makes her feel like she hasn't seen all of you yet, and she won't stop looking. That unresolved question in her mind isn't discomfort. It's interest she can't explain and can't shut off. Most men accidentally eliminate this the moment they get comfortable. They show everything. They become readable. And readable means filed. The second dynamic, talk to her about someone who looks nothing like her. Women overthink constantly, not occasionally, constantly. From the moment a woman wakes, her mind is already building narratives. She'll pass a crying child on the street and still be processing that moment at 11 at night, running scenarios, trying to understand why, feeling something for a stranger she saw for 3 seconds. That's not a flaw. That's how female cognition actually operates, and you can work with it. If the woman you're dealing with has dark hair, mention a blonde woman in passing during conversation. Not as a comparison, not aimed at her, not pointed in any obvious direction, just mentioned, naturally, like it barely registered for you. Then keep talking about something else entirely. When she gets home tonight, she's going to think about it. She's going to wonder why you mentioned it, whether you prefer blondes, whether she's what you actually want, whether she should change something. You said 2 sentences about someone who wasn't even in the room, and now she's running a full internal investigation about what those 2 sentences meant. The more a woman is trying to understand you, the more she's thinking about you. The more she's thinking about you, the faster she's attaching. That's not manipulation, that's psychology. And the beautiful part is, you don't have to say much. One casual mention, completely natural. The rest of the work happens inside her own mind, without you doing anything else. The third dynamic, don't be afraid to criticize her. Most men can't do this, not because they're incapable, but because they've spent their entire lives being conditioned to believe that disagreeing with a woman means losing her. So they smile, they agree, they say nothing. She knows. Here's what actually happens when you criticize a woman honestly. Not aggressively, not constantly, but honestly. She respects you more. The man who says, that outfit doesn't suit you, while everyone else is calling her stunning, that man has her attention, because he's not performing for her. He's not managing her emotions to protect his own position. He's just telling her what he sees. And here's the mechanism most men miss entirely. When you've only ever complimented a woman, your compliments mean almost nothing. She's heard the same words from 100 different men who all wanted something from her. Your compliment is just more noise. But when she knows you'll criticize honestly, when she's already felt that sting, a compliment from you becomes rare. She'll want it. She'll do things to earn it. She'll wonder if this particular thing was the thing that got through your standard. Criticism is the foundation. Without it, your praise has no weight, no value, no meaning.
You're not being cruel. You're being real. And real is what most men are too afraid to be. Criticize sparingly. Compliment even more sparingly. That's the sequence that makes your words matter. The fourth dynamic. Mention something she's not good at. This one requires patience. If she tells you she can't cook, don't respond to it directly. Don't make it a moment. Just file it away. Then, later, in a completely different conversation, let it surface naturally. Something like, I've always respected women who actually know what they're doing in a kitchen. Not directed at her, not pointed, just said, passing through the conversation, like a genuine thought. Then move on without hesitation. When she's alone later, she'll think about it. Not because you made her feel inadequate, but because she wants your approval, and now she's aware of a gap between where she is and what she heard in your voice. That gap creates movement. She starts thinking about how to close it. The internal drive to close that gap, to become what she thinks you want, is a sign of real investment. She's not just talking to you anymore. She's thinking about you when you're not there. And that's the only kind of attachment that actually leads anywhere. The fifth dynamic. Share your weakness before she finds it herself. This is the one most men get completely backwards. They hide their weaknesses. They think exposure means vulnerability, and vulnerability means loss of attraction. So they perform. They hold the cracks together with effort and hope she doesn't look too closely. And when she does find it, she finds the weakness and the concealment. That second part is what damages attraction. But when you bring it up first, before she ever has the chance to discover it on her own, you flip the entire dynamic. I can't dance. I'm telling you now, don't take me anywhere expecting anything graceful. Said flat, no apology, no discomfort, just state it like it's obviously fine. She's not thinking less of you. She's thinking, this man doesn't care what I think of him. That's rare, and rare things hold attention. There's also something deeper running underneath that. When a woman feels genuine empathy for a man, not pity, actual empathy, it creates a pull she can't easily explain or dismiss. That's why the disclosure works. Not to generate pity, not to make her feel sorry for you, but because a man who names his own imperfections without apology is the least afraid person in the room. She can feel that, and she won't forget it. The pity strategy gets this backwards. It hands her your weakness like a gift and waits for sympathy. That works once, if it works at all, and then it corrodes everything. What you're doing here is different. Disclosure without apology. Honesty without the ask for reassurance. That combination is what she remembers. The sixth dynamic. Let her see you lose control briefly. There's a moment that'll arrive in any real interaction. She wears something and it actually catches you off guard. She says something and you weren't ready for it. Don't suppress it. Let the reaction happen. Let the reach happen. Let the unguarded laugh happen. That split second of broken composure, that moment where the controlled version of you cracks, is extraordinarily powerful. Because up to this point, she's been watching the composed version, measured, readable, operating within a consistent frame. And now she's seeing something she didn't know existed. More than that, she feels like she caused it. That realization that she broke through something in you is one of the fastest routes to real emotional attachment. She made you react. That happened because of her. The condition is it has to be genuine. You can't manufacture spontaneity. You can only allow it when it's actually there. And don't do this early. Let the frame establish first. Let her spend time reading the composed version of you. Then let the crack show, when it's real, when it's happening, and when the timing actually fits.
The seventh dynamic. Make her earn your approval. Tell her something you actually care about, a subject, a value, something you genuinely respect in a person. Then, later, ask her about it. Two things happen. If she says yes, you've just watched her try to align herself with your world. That yes might be genuine, but part of it is performance for you. The fact that she's performing for you, that she wants your approval enough to reach toward it, is the beginning of real investment. If she says no, she goes home and wonders what you think of her now, whether that answer cost her something with you, whether she should have said something different. Either way, you're the variable she's solving for. Not herself, not the situation, you. And here's what most men never understand about this dynamic. It's not about having standards for the sake of having standards. It's about being a man whose opinion actually means something. When your approval is easy to get, it means nothing. When it requires something from her, it means everything. The man who puts a woman in the position of earning his approval, without cruelty, without games, is the man she's thinking about at 2 a.m. Not the man who told her she was beautiful, not the man who was always available, the one whose opinion she doesn't fully have yet. The eighth dynamic: set boundaries and actually hold them. Women are drawn to men who lead, not because of how it sounds, because of what it signals. Leadership reads as direction, as someone who knows what he wants and won't negotiate it away under pressure. The simplest form of this is a boundary you actually hold. I don't like girls who smoke. She smokes in front of you. You stand up and walk. No explanation, no negotiation, no "I told you." You said it, you do it. That's the whole sequence. That moment matters to her more than most things you'll say across months of conversation. Because most men don't follow through on their own stated positions. They say things and then soften them the moment there's friction. You said it, you meant it, you proved it. She can trust the signal now. And a man whose signals can be trusted is a man she adjusts herself to match, not out of fear, but because consistency is what makes a person feel real. Boundaries aren't about control, they're about consistency. Consistency is what separates a man who seems strong from a man who actually is. The ninth dynamic: don't pretend she's the only option. She'll ask eventually, directly or sideways, "Are you seeing anyone else?" Most men collapse here. They rush to reassure her. No, it's just you. I'm not talking to anyone else," trying to make her feel secure. What they've actually done is remove themselves from consideration entirely. She's not afraid of losing you anymore. And the moment she's not afraid of losing you, something in the dynamic shifts that's very difficult to reverse. Don't lie. Don't perform jealousy. Don't manufacture urgency. Just tell the truth. "There are a few women I'm talking to. We'll see where things go." Said calmly, no edge in the voice, no strategy visible in the delivery. Just a man who has options and sees no reason to pretend otherwise. That answer does something specific. It reactivates the assessment. It tells her she hasn't won anything yet, that there's a competition she wasn't fully aware of, and she doesn't know where she stands in it. Women are drawn to men who are wanted by other women. That's not jealousy as an emotion. That's mate selection operating at the level of instinct. It's been running in human psychology longer than any social rule about how you're supposed to answer that question. You're not manufacturing scarcity. You're refusing to perform a certainty you haven't actually given her. There's a difference, and she can feel the difference. These 9 dynamics aren't hacks. They've always been operating in every interaction you've been a part of, whether you saw them or not. Most men don't see them because they're too busy performing what they think she wants to notice what's actually happening right in front of them. Stop performing. Start observing. The man who understands the psychology doesn't chase. He becomes the thing she can't stop thinking about. And that's the only position worth being in. Dark male code.